Welcome back to the channel, guys. Today we have an awesome news breakout that has come out for the controversies surrounding the Joker, and the first weekend viewings have now begun, and a lot of people have apparently been walking out of the theater, and it's all been SJWs. It's all people that are snowflake millennial sensitive and don't have any thick skin and think just the slightest bit of violence is too dark. These are probably the same people, though, that loved John Wick, that treasured the new Rambo movie for everything it was. And I have a little bit of information on the killings of those movies real quick. John Wick brutally murdered 76 people over a dog. And then you have Rambo 3 killed 115 people. And Rambo 4, the newest one to come out, killed 254 people. So people are protesting this movie, but not protesting other movies, because this is an origin story about a person who has to deal with mental health issues, and who is someone you're actually supposed to feel a little bit sympathetic for to a certain extent. Because obviously he does end up killing people, but leading up to it, it shows the strain that a person can take and what inevitably makes them snap mentally after being abused in more ways than one, and trying to still live out their life, to support someone that they love, to just deal with the ins and outs of a very hard upbringing and a very hard life. Let's get into it. So this is from the ladbible.com. So viewers watching the new Joker film have been walking out of the cinemas prematurely because they thought the movie was too dark and intense. I'm not sure what you would be expecting for a Joker movie. This is an origin story on how he became the Joker, so obviously he has to go through some very dark times to be the very sinister and horrible villain that he becomes. I just haven't seen the movie myself. I have read enough of the leaks to kind of get an understanding of the movie. I am dying now to see this movie, because if it pisses off the SJWs and the woke and cancel culture, it's definitely a movie worth seeing. So, continuing on, one person even suggested that there should be a trigger warning when it comes to people buying their tickets for the controversial film. No, there should be no trigger warning. You know what you're getting yourself into. It's like me when I took the Carolina Reaper pepper challenge, eating the pepper. You shouldn't have to have some kind of banner that goes off after about 3 minutes saying, this is going to hurt. I knew that going into that challenge. Taking to Twitter, one viewer said, I just walked out of the Joker. Maybe I was naive in going and didn't realize what an origin story should be like. Maybe because I live with someone with mental health. It was just far too dark for me to be able to watch. So yes, you were too naive. Again, this is an origin story. This is something that, yes, in order to be able to be the villain that he is portrayed as a Joker, I don't know what you're expecting. If it's supposed to be sunshine and rainbows and butterflies. Another commented, mental illness is a serious topic. Horrible, dark movie. We walked out of it. We don't recommend it. We already live in a sick society. Let's not add to it, please. This isn't adding to it. This is showing one person's perspective on how it has affected them and their choices that they've made because of it. So this is not going to incite other people, hey, let's go get a mental illness. It's not endorsing gun violence, mass shootings, mental illness, or anything like that. It is showing a perspective on what can happen. This is all just a hypothetical. This is of a comic. This is not real life. A third person wrote, would just like to say, if anyone is thinking of going to watch the Joker movie, there should be a giant red trigger warning banner while buying tickets or something. People walked out after the first graphic shooting, and there were quite a few after. We also have another article to go on for people walking out and wanting to ban the movie from being played in theaters, which again is ridiculous. If the people are wanting to ban this movie, they better be, or they should have been the ones saying, you need to ban John Wick. You need to ban Rambo. You need to ban Saw. You need to if you're going to ban this one movie for the violence it has, whereas it's so little of it, you need to then go on a spree of saying it for every movie. The SJWs don't like this. The woke society doesn't like this. The cancel culture doesn't like this. So why in the hell do any of us care that they don't like this? There's a lot of things that we don't like, but you know what? We just ignore them and get past it, or we just don't involve ourselves in it. The title even of the article is hilarious. It's way too terrifying. Joker viewers around the world walk out of movie theaters and urge cinemas to ban the ultra-violent film, saying it glamorizes gun crime and deals with mental health issues in a triggering way. No, this does not incite gun violence. There's maybe a couple scenes where it actually takes place, but again, going off of what I said earlier, John Wick killed 76 people because of a dog, and that is not considered, glamorizing and endorsing gun violence. Joker is continuing to stir controversy on the opening weekend after some fans stormed out of theaters around the world saying the movie was too disturbing and triggering. R-rated supervillain flick smashed October opening day box office records after taking home $39.9 million in domestic ticket sales on Friday, and is on pace to take an eye-watering $92 million weekend total. So, for people that are saying that this is a terrible movie, I think the numbers don't lie, that a lot of people are enjoying this movie. Not everyone is embracing the dark ultraviolet film, which sees Joaquin Phoenix playing or portraying Arthur Fleck, an embattled clown who later transforms into Batman's most iconic nemesis. One fan wrote on Twitter, literally just walked out of the screening of Joker, way too terrifying to be there with all this going on a way the movie glamorizes gun violence and mental health issues. Again, it doesn't glamorize anything. It shows what can happen, one isolated incident scenario for what can happen. Others have gone as far as calling the movie to be banned from theaters, saying that it promotes violence and could even inspire a mass shooting. No. This movie is a character study, a character origin for a villain from Batman. If we have a mass shooting after this movie has been in theaters, you can't connect the two. It's because they are growing in numbers as far as the activity of them actually happening. So to have a mass shooting, even in the next couple of weeks, and people say, oh, well, it's Joker. No, it's not. It's unfortunately happening a lot more often than normal, so it is not something that you can say is because of this movie. Thus far on opening weekend, there have been no reports of violence at screenings after police across the nation went on high alert and beefed up security at theaters. There have been isolated disruptions at screenings, though nothing so serious as an actual shooting. In Huntington Beach, California, one theater canceled 2 screenings Thursday night after receiving a threat. Police said Friday's showings have resumed as scheduled. In New York City, police responded to a screening after one audience member sparked fears by spitting on others and clapping loudly every time the Joker killed someone. Fearing he had ill intentions, police escorted the man out of the theater. A witness reported the man had poured a bottle of tequila into a slushie before the movie began. I walked out of this movie. Joker banned this movie. It is a psychological approach on the mind. I was rooting for him until shit got real. Yes, that's the whole point of the movie. You are supposed to feel sympathetic and empathetic for a person up to a point, because obviously you're not going to cheer for him to go and kill people, but you're going to be rooting for him to find a way to be able to go through life with the things that he has dealt with from since he was a child leading into his adult life, where he is trying to find a way to make money, taking care of his mother, just dealing with the mental illnesses that he has himself. And unfortunately, with the pressure building upon him and the way that people are treating him, he snapped. Would have walked out of the Joker after an hour if the missus would have let me. Don't do it, folks. So we actually know who wears the pants in that relationship. I'm sorry to say this, but you're a pussy. It's a movie. Your girl has bigger balls than you do. White dude next to me walked out of Joker in the last few minutes of the movie, had me a little shook, not gonna lie. So, I don't know why you have to bring race into it, but I'm not even gonna elaborate on that. That's ridiculous. By unanimous decision, the 4 of us walked out of the Joker movie. Haven't walked out of a movie in years. I've never walked out of a theater more uncomfortable than I am right now walking out of Joker. What an effed up movie. Literally just walked out of the screening of Joker. Way too terrifying to be there with all this going on. Both Phoenix and director Todd Phillips have defended the film, with the actor saying he trusts the audience to know the difference between right and wrong. Phillips recently revealed he was surprised by the criticism of Joker because he took measures to instill real-world implications of violence not often found in cartoon films and television shows. So he was doing the right thing by trying to give it a more realistic tone and an idea for what actually could happen, and not try to be over the top and cartoony about it. The 48-year-old director revealed during the New York Film Festival on Wednesday night that his depictions of violence were a needed departure from the glorification found in other action movies. Phoenix portrayed the character as a bullied man, Arthur Fleck, who, after living on the outskirts of society, snaps and begins to take revenge on those who have wronged him. Again, not towards people who were actually nice to him, but just towards the people who were acting out towards him and who were being very mean to him. So that's surprising. That's the surprising thing to me. He said at the movie's East Coast premiere, "I thought, isn't that a good thing to put real-world implications on violence?" Yes, it is. Despite receiving critical acclaim, social media monitoring FBI agents in the U.S. have warned it could inspire screening attacks from incels, a term in which refers to men who are involuntarily celibate and blame other situations on women. I don't understand how those two correlate. It's ridiculous for people to assume such things. So, but that's the main thing I wanted to get to, is just why are you SJWs getting so bent? You are making yourself the victim in your own eyes. You are making yourself be a part of it when you can easily just not go to the movie theaters. And if it's not for you, great. Find what is for you. We already have enough gender bending and race swapping in movies of characters that are already solidified for exactly as they are. Why are we going to conform to making this not portray what really could have happened to Arthur Fleck to become the Joker? But stop trying to ruin the idea for what people actually like a character for and have to swap so many different elements of it that you no longer have that character to begin with. Or you no longer have that character anymore. You no longer have the joy that that character brought for you, or the idea of you wanting so badly to see him fall or see him succeed, or whatever the case is. Just let the characters be as they are. I know it was kind of a long rant. I did not expect it to go this long, but in any case, I hope you enjoyed it. If you like the content and want to see more, please hit the subscribe button and hit the bell notification to be notified whenever a new movie comes out. If you liked this video, please give it a like, and I will see you guys in the next one. I hope some of you guys that did watch the movie did enjoy it. I cannot wait to go see this in theaters very soon. Have a good one and take care.